Let's get right into it. Number 8. You're the friend who remembers everyone's coffee order. You walk into the office or meet up with your group, and somehow you just know. Sarah takes her latte with oat milk. Mike wants his black coffee extra hot, and Jessica needs that caramel macchiato with an extra shot. Most people think this is just being nice, but you're actually displaying a core leadership trait. Great leaders pay attention to details that matter to their people. They remember what makes each person tick, what they need to perform their best, and what small gestures show they care. This isn't about memorizing random facts. It's about understanding that leadership starts with seeing people as individuals, not just faces in a crowd. When you remember someone's preferences, you're showing them they matter enough for you to notice. That's the foundation of trust. And trust is what separates managers from true leaders. Companies spend millions trying to teach executives this skill, but you're already doing it naturally every time you grab that perfect coffee order without being asked. Number 7. You naturally become the group planner. Whether it's organizing a birthday party, coordinating a work project, or just figuring out where everyone wants to eat dinner, people look to you. You're the one sending out the group texts, checking everyone's schedules, and somehow making decisions that keep everyone happy. This drives some people crazy because they think planning is tedious work nobody wants to do. But here's what's really happening. You understand that nothing good happens by accident. You see the big picture while others are focused on their small piece of the puzzle. Real leaders know that vision without execution is just daydreaming, and execution without coordination is chaos. When you step up to organize things, you're showing people you can bridge that gap. You're demonstrating that you can take an idea and turn it into reality by getting the right people in the right place at the right time. That's exactly what CEOs and team leaders do every single day, just on a bigger scale. Number 6. You ask questions that make people think deeper. In meetings, conversations, or casual discussions, you're not just nodding along. You're the person who says things like, "But what if we looked at it this way?" Or, "Have we considered how this affects everyone involved?" People sometimes think you're being difficult or overthinking things. Actually, you're doing what every great leader does. You're challenging assumptions and pushing people to examine their blind spots. Most people accept information at face value, but leaders dig deeper. They understand that the first answer isn't always the best answer, and the obvious solution might miss something important. When you ask those probing questions, you're helping the entire group think more clearly. You're creating space for better ideas to emerge. This skill is so valuable that some companies hire expensive consultants just to come in and ask the right questions. You're already doing it naturally because you genuinely want to understand things fully before moving forward. Number 5. You give people credit even when you did most of the work. Your team finishes a project successfully, and when people ask how it went so well, you immediately start talking about what everyone else contributed. You highlight Sarah's research skills, mention how Mike's connections made the difference, and praise Jessica's attention to detail. Meanwhile, you barely mention that you coordinated everything, solved 3 major problems, and worked late every night to make sure it all came together. Some people might think you're being modest, or that you don't know how to promote yourself. But you're actually demonstrating one of the most powerful leadership traits. Great leaders understand that their success comes through other people's success. They know that when team members feel valued and recognized, they'll work harder and stay more committed. You instinctively grasp that taking credit might make you feel good in the moment, but giving credit builds loyalty that lasts. The best leaders in history were known for sharing victories and taking responsibility for failures. You're already wired to do exactly that. Number 4. You naturally mediate conflicts before they explode. When tension starts building between people in your friend group, family, or workplace, you're the one who steps in. You don't wait for things to get ugly. Instead, you find ways to get people talking to each other instead of about each other. You might suggest everyone grab lunch together, Or you privately talk to both sides to help them see the other person's perspective. Most people either ignore conflicts hoping they'll go away, or they pick sides and make things worse. But you understand something crucial about human nature. Small problems become big problems when they're left alone. And big problems destroy teams. Leaders know that part of their job is maintaining harmony, so everyone can focus on what really matters. When you step in to smooth things over, you're not just keeping the peace, you're protecting the group's ability to function effectively. That's exactly what managers and executives do when they handle workplace disputes or negotiate between different departments. Number 3. You remember conversations from weeks or months ago. Someone mentions they were worried about their mom's health, stressed about a presentation, or excited about a new opportunity. Then, weeks later, you check in and ask how things turned out. Most people are shocked that you remembered because they assume everyone forgets these details. But you naturally file away information about what matters to people. This isn't about having a good memory for random facts. It's about understanding that people want to feel heard and valued. When you follow up on things people told you, you're showing them that their concerns and dreams matter to you. That creates a level of connection that goes way beyond small talk. Great leaders build these kinds of relationships with everyone around them. They remember what keeps their team members up at night and what gets them excited to come to work. This emotional intelligence is what separates leaders who inspire loyalty from those who just give orders. Number 2, you see potential in people before they see it in themselves. There's that coworker who's always apologizing for their ideas, but you recognize they're actually really creative. Or that friend who thinks they're not smart enough for a promotion, but you can see they have incredible problem-solving skills. You find yourself encouraging people to take on challenges they don't think they're ready for. Sometimes they think you're just being nice, but you genuinely see abilities they haven't discovered yet. This is one of the rarest and most valuable leadership traits. Most people are good at spotting obvious talent, but exceptional leaders can identify hidden potential and help develop it. They understand that their job isn't just to manage the skills people already have, but to help people grow beyond what they thought was possible. When you encourage someone to stretch themselves, you're not just being supportive. You're acting like a talent scout and coach rolled into one. The best leaders throughout history were known for taking people who didn't believe in themselves and helping them achieve things they never imagined. Number 1, you naturally think about long-term consequences. While everyone else is focused on immediate results, you're thinking about what happens next. When your team is celebrating a quick win, you're already considering how to build on that success. When people want to take shortcuts, you're thinking about whether those shortcuts will create problems down the road. This sometimes makes you seem overly cautious, or like you're dampening enthusiasm. Actually, you're displaying the most critical leadership skill of all. You understand that every decision creates ripple effects, and those ripple effects can either set you up for future success or create future headaches. Great leaders are always balancing short-term needs with long-term vision. They make decisions based not just on what feels good today, but on what will still make sense months or years from now. This strategic thinking is what allows leaders to guide organizations through challenges and position them for sustainable growth. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.